My heart is always in the right place. Now I got my head in the right space.
Time to use the power of my voice. Toast to magnify with my folks. Everybody rejoice. Everybody rejoice.
Welcome to Vino Rhyme. We are doing a wine pairing and album listening party for Glory, the new project by Tracey Lee, entirely produced by my man O'Jiz. It's a situation, man. This album is super dope, and it's not just because I know these brothers. I'm telling you, it's because it's a dope album. But you're about to find out for yourself. I go by the name of DJ Feeling It, aka Kev. That's my government. You can use it if you want. My man in the background on the 1 and 2s is Dr. Deep Crates B. Hey, man, we've been doing this thing called Vino Rhyme for about 7, 8 years now. And we finally hooked up with my brother Trey. And he's like, hey, man, we had so much fun on the ETU album, Expect the Unexpected, with my man O'Jiz producing it. He's like, man, let's run that back and do it again. Now, you know, you go to a wine tasting or you go to the wine store, you order, you know, back in Philly, they got state stores. In Philly, you got state stores. You got the liquor store down here in D.C. And so you might ask for something and get all these crazy types of terms like this, like oaked, toasty, opulent, tight, angular. But a lot of times you really don't know what that means. But tonight we're going to break down the terms and use the music to inspire the terms that we're going to try to talk about tonight. Tonight's featured wine, again, all black owned vintners. All black vintners we're dealing with right now. So we got this Alcina, which is a Sauvignon Blanc 2019. We also have a Sparkling Brut Rosé by our sisters, McBride sisters. That's a dope story for sure. We got the Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. It's a red blend by Mason Noir Wines out of Oregon. So we're going to get with it right now. For the Alcina Sauvignon Blanc, that's a full kind of rounded tropical character with it. So you're going to get a lot of citrus with this one. You're going to get some bright fruit. So you're going to get like a lot of citrus. You're going to get lemon zest. You're also going to get some complexity with it as well, because you had the acidity with it, but it has, you know, again, it has some other elements to it that kind of makes it more interesting when you taste it. Going back to my original point of, you can just shotgun your wine, or you can actually slowly sip it and experience all the different tasting elements. In particular with this wine, you should look out for kind of what they call the lingering silky finish. It's a dry wine because it's a Sauv Blanc. So Sauv Blanc grapes produce dry wines, and we'll talk about dry wines later. And it's at 13.5 ABV. Well, I would like to point out at the very end of the song, you say, y'all gonna fuck around, make me go back to the old me. So there's a few things that I need to unpack with that one, because we're gonna go to track 3. Track 3 is called Old Me, the old me. And so, brother, you owe me some money for the swear jar, because I got like a 2-year-old son, and so I still want to hear, I want him to hear bars, but I can't let him hear the bars I want him to hear. So I'm like, Uncle Tracy, he good.
Hey, we got the clean version available.
I ain't know that.
Listen, Kev, I'm really, because you know me, you heard the last album.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't curse on that entire album. And the only reason why we got the sticker on this one is because of 3 words throughout the entire album. But I felt like if you want to see the old me, I had to use that. I had to say, you gonna fuck around. I couldn't say, and you notice I didn't use that in the hook for the song, right? I went back to mess around. But I just felt like in that transition, I got to tell you what it is. This is what the old me would have said. You gonna fuck around and turn me into the old me.
Well,
you understand what I'm saying?
Hey, you fucked around and had me sleeping on the couch, because I done played in front of the light, and I done played Uncle Tracy music, and it was like, fuck around. My wife
was like, one word, Gavin. Was one word.
Oh, trust me. We
gonna talk about that though. He could have cut it off. Now
we gonna talk about the second word in a little bit. I want to focus on that second word in a little bit. But for the first word, the old me. So track 3 is the old me. And that gives me the opportunity to talk about dry wines. And so we paired it with the Alcina Sauvignon Blanc for the reason so that we can talk about dry wine. So Sauv Blanc grapes produce dry wines, and that's the opposite of Trey got the bottle up right there. Boom, good. That's good product placement.
Yeah, right on time.
Yeah, right on time. So basically, when you see somebody that says, this is a dry wine, or if you're a person who likes sweet wine, all dry means is not sweet. It's the opposite of sweet. So when you're talking about wine, it's really about one of the elements about it is about sweetness. And so you have your, very sweet, you have highly sweet wines, but then you have not so sweet, and then you have dry, you have off dry. I mean, the official terms are like off dry, semi. And so this is a straight up dry wine. So this just gave me a reason to talk about it because, but I felt like you were saying, I want to know who pissed you off to say this, but I felt like you were saying to somebody like, look, shit ain't sweet. And that's why I paired it with it. Because I was just like, somebody was like, shit ain't sweet. I want to know who pissed you off to write these bars on the old me. That's what I want to know. But first, we're going to play the John first. Hey, B, go ahead and play this. So raise your glass in the air. We're doing the white wine, Aslina. Cheers, y'all. Enjoy these bars. Old me, right here. On Bottom of the
You
Rhyme.
really think you know me, huh? Let me explain something to you.
Oh, Jid's on the track.
From the flow to the soul of my tea leaves astonishing. It's like my position in this game, politics. Suckers show love is so cliche, it's obvious. Then they talk slick, but yet remain anonymous. The irony, I hide a crooked side, but I swear, y'all been trying to make the ball go there. So let's go there. When every sentiment was foul, no fair. Plus, yeah, I've been fitted from the block, go bare. While they was giddy, we was out green, gritty with agendas. The barber had the drop-offs, Bizarre did the pickups. Me, bagging it up, the math was stupendous. I was turning quarters into halves without a hiccup. A portion of the past was part of the addendum. Amongst more of the past that I don't care to mention. But context, I was a product of my habitat. Habitat, at the channel, L Rock back. See, y'all don't know me. A lot of these folk think they know me. Until I black out on them OD. I try to keep it holy. But they gon' mess around and turn me into the old me. I check the past, now I'm so free. But Lord have mercy on my soul, see. Nowadays, I wanna play it low-key, but they gon' mess around and turn me into the old me. Guess who's Bizak? The return of the G when I rap. Elevate like that old 3 stacks. Gotta make me relapse. But ask the OG, I go back like the crack of that old E-cap. Ain't no hoodie in construction's rusty. The ownership never saw us coming that weak side. Corner blitz, market for a scholar with street smart. Cornered it, but in any bracket, I'm madness. The tournament, Southwest, the broad and every homies know what's up. I bought the cornrows to Philly before Bubba Chuck. I used the sample with Biggie before such and such. Now I remain a staple with the cut like a tummy tuck. Get familiar, ain't bar is a photo op. 10 deep, throwing a backdrop. The money shot, head crack, way before laptop. The spitter pop, your apex, deliver that anthrax. Homie, see y'all don't know me. A lot of these folk think they know me. Until I black out on them OD. I try to keep it holy. But they gon' mess around and turn me into the old me. I check the past, now I'm so free. But Lord have mercy on my soul, see. Nowadays, I wanna play it low-key, but they gon' mess around and turn me into the old me. A lot of these folk think they know me. Until I black out on them OD. I try to keep it holy, but they gon' mess around and turn me into the old me. I live and check the past, now I'm so free. But the power that beat wanna take it back. The thought of martial laws coming right at you. So pay attention, ready, aim. When I get a cue.
Yeah, clap. Yo. So yeah, I just want to know, like, we ain't gonna stay in that zone too long. I just want to know, like, who pissed you off? What was the inspiration for this record?
Ain't nobody really pissed. Well, I'm not gonna say anyone in particular pissed me off.
You can tell me. Lori made you mad?
Nah. That's a whole nother project. You know what I'm saying?
Coming soon, by the way. Coming soon.
That's a whole nother project, and we ain't tasting it with wine either.
Those are the couch sessions.
We doing whiskey and scotch for that one. But nevertheless, nah, man, it really, okay, so it stems from, and here's the ego part of me, right? It stems from, just what I thought, or continue to think from time to time, the lack of respect that I think people have for craftsmanship, if you will, of the lyrical prowess. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to say it yourself a lot of times. Like you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
But man, ain't nobody really, ain't a whole lot of people seeing me with the pen, man. It's just not.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I just want to be honest and frank with it amongst my family here right now.
Yeah.
But people don't seem to like. It pisses me off when you don't press play. That's what pisses me off. If you don't press play and determining it for yourself, then I got an issue. If you press play and you just don't like it, then you just don't like it.
Yeah.
But if you don't press play and you continue to say, "Oh yeah, Trey, he he ain't did nothing since party time." Well, you ain't pressed play since party time. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not only that, but particular people in the game that still continue to kind of shake your hand in public and all of that, but then when you pull up on them, mum's the word. Like when you hear certain things in the street, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like it's that kind of thing. It's like, look, man, if you don't like certain things, don't whisper that to somebody that it may get back around to me. Then when I ask you about it, it's no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah. I mean, how they say it? Keep that energy.
Yeah, keep the energy. Well, I forgot who said that line with it. Your handshake ain't matching your smile.
Yes, word.
Yeah,
Keep
man.
that same energy, so I know who I'm dealing with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where that whole song, like you about to turn me back into something I left a long time ago, honestly. But
Yeah.
get there. I can get there.
Time. And so we're gonna talk about this, John. Thanos. So me and Trey and Jiz and B hooked up one day. We just, he's like, "Hey, so what do you think about the album?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can't rate it yet. I always judge albums on three things. I first take a listen to the beat, and I try my best not to get hooked onto like a particular songs. Like I really force myself to listen to the beat. Then I force myself to just listen to the bars, and then I go select the bangers. So when this joint first hit, I ain't gonna lie, like I automatically like a couple of bars and I was like, nope, skip. Not because I didn't like it, but it's way too much for me to chew on. And I was just like, sometimes I just want to rock out. And the first like four were so vibe that I was just like, man, I don't want to get stuck. I'm gonna get stuck in the zone. I don't want to get stuck in the zone. I want to enjoy the rest of the album. And so that's just keeping it funky. Like, I was like, nope. So then I was able to kind of sit in there, have a glass of wine, and I thought I was going to go red wine with it. This seemed like a red wine record. Until I started sipping, I was sipping on a bunch of wine at the time. Until I started popping that Aslina Sauvignon Blanc.
I know it.
Right?
I know
it is so, So the reason why we chose this wine for Thanos is because the beat and the bars, like I really harped on the beat on the last album, last song. I'm gonna harp on the bars for this one. Like it's complex, and it's like, so complexity, to put it simple, when you see that word, it really talks about the wine is more than one dimensional, and so it kind of is intriguing, and it kind of like holds your interest, sort of like this wine. And so it's like it's not straightforward. It tends to be sometimes, but then it has like fruitiness to it, then it has this acidity to it, and so it kind of holds your attention through the entire tasting process. Similar to this song. As a matter of fact, to the point where I had to wear my Thanos t-shirt just to pay homage to you.
With the Coogee.
With the Coogee sweater.
Yeah.
I had to pay respects.
Yeah.
I wasn't dissing this record, but I was just like, nah, I'm not going to deal with that right now. So I had a chance to go back, and so I apologize. But we're going to get into like, just play the record, man. Just play the record, man. Cheers, y'all. Let's drink this Sauvignon Blanc. I'll swing.
Cheers on the track.
You cannot live with your own failure. Where did that get you? Back to me.
Slick. We at the moment I fear, and part when in a snap could all disappear. Love at our disposal, a life that wasn't promised. Grandeur took for granted and gifts we never harnessed. Idea focus, we sift through all the carnage. I'm seeing dreams deferred, guarded images tarnished. Signs we didn't heed when the word tried to admonish. Now fractions of the masses returning to ashes. Porsche, begging for mercy and compassion, while humming the chorus of blackberry molasses. Contortion, spirits broken into fragments. Ill twisted fate as your faith hangs in the balance.
I thought that by eliminating half of life, the other half would thrive.
Yeah.
Showed me it's impossible.
Could it be that it's the will of Allah, or the naivety of man playing God? The Wizard of Oz, where the mental of millions are marred and the hoods living in fear, being pillaged and charred. But we are resilient, descendants of Ishmael, akin to the children of Israel. Meaning we hard, the epicenter for every epidemic, the motive for their social engineering. We've been through it all, depicted as menaced and vilified. The victims of lynching and genocide. Through foul supremacists in 45, the Alpha and Omega be us, nigga survive.
Well, I'll tell you now what I'm about to do to your stubborn, annoying little planet. I'm gonna enjoy it.
So my counter's a composition of hymns, littered with a fistful of gems, then begin to paint my reality via space and time, with power empowered by the soul and mind, while avenging the image of dying fam. The end games replenish a dying land, initially in peace, but if they want to riot, then plan B. I'm pulling out my version of the Iron Man.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, we gonna. Well, let me get back to the John. Yeah, we unpack them bars, brother, because yeah, I'm just gonna. I'm gonna shut up.
All right, so first of all, how many people in here have seen the movie Infinity Wars and the Endgame? Both of them. Infinity Wars and the Endgame. How many people have seen that? Show of hands. I just want to just get a good gauge, because if you've seen that, then you are at an advantage of what I'm talking about in this particular rhyme. So I'm going to start with the third verse just to give you a head start. Like in Infinity Wars, there was this quest for Thanos, with the main character, to get these stones in order for him to control things, you know what I'm saying, in the universe. You know what I'm saying? To paint my reality via space and time. Reality, space, time represent three of those stones. Power, you know what I'm saying, the soul and the mind represent the other three stones. And so in these stones, once he put them in his glove, he snapped his fingers and eliminated, going back to the purge, eliminated half of the population. You know what I'm saying? So that, you know, you have all of the resources that you need according to his mind. You know, things are a lot better when, you know, you don't have as many people on the earth. So, you know, things are plentiful and all this other, but this is him doing God's work, basically. You know what I'm saying? Man controlling God's work. You know what I mean? Man, so that goes back to one of the other lines. Could it be that it's the will of Allah, meaning the things that are going on right now? Could it be that it's the will of Allah or the naivete of man playing God? You see what I'm saying? So Thanos represents man playing God. You know what I mean? Like, so everything that's going on around us, who's controlling this? Is it the will of Allah, or is this man playing God? You know what I'm saying? Trying to dictate everything that's rocking right now. So that's what Thanos is all about. And specifically, when you start talking about the children, you know what I'm saying, kin to Ishmael, the children of Israel, children of Ishmael who are kin to Ishmael, to Israel. So now we're going to biblical terms, where all of those people that are represented in that are black people. So when you start talking about going through things throughout the history, everything has always been geared toward keeping us at bay. You know what I'm saying? Destroying us. Where at the end of the day, you can't. I don't care what you do, lynchings, genocide, 45, you know what I mean? You will not get rid of us, but yet they constantly are trying to get rid of us in every way, shape, form, or fashion. So using Infinity Wars and using the end game as parables, to me, I'm not a comic head. Jizz is. And shout out to Jizz because that track in particular forced me to do that, because that track is so, but it don't, if you listen to this album, it fits, but it's the most different composition in this entire album. From the sound and the sonics of it, it's bananas. It is, yo, I still wish, I wish I can't wait to get high again. Let me tell you why. Because when I smoke again, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna listen to this joint again, especially that track, and you really gonna be able to take a deep dive into all the intricacies involved with it. But it's the track that made me go in that direction, but it fit right in the story that I was trying to tell. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really the most, it's probably the best story and the most complex, you know what I'm saying, bars that'll be in this album. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thus, complex is the term that we chose. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it there. But I will say this.
But
Go ahead.
thing.
11.
But I
On this one, we're going to pair it with the Sauvignon Blanc. That's the Aslina Sauvignon Blanc.
Right here.
The reason being, right there, that's right. So the reason being, remember early on, I talked about a long finish?
Yes.
And I was like how the Rosé Brut, the Brut Rosé has a long finish. This actually has a long finish as well. But musically, the Rosé Brut goes better with, I forget what song it was, but it tracks with that better because it had I believe it had horns at the end of it. And that kind of represents, and I want you to drink, if you have any Rosé Brut left and you have any of this Sauvignon Blanc left, drink both back to back and really pay attention after you swallow the taste that remains and lingers in your mouth. So with this one,
Reckless.
I am. But this one has a lingering silky finish. So that means it's real smooth. Kind of like my man Eric Roberson.
Yes.
But now that I know that you were singing, I question who was actually singing and who was bringing the smoothness on this track. I question this. I also wonder did Ero write them bars or was it you ghostwriting?
Nah, he wrote his bars. I wrote everything else.
Interesting.
Right place. Now I got my head in the right space.
Sauvignon Blanc, Aslina.
Everybody rejoice.
Oh, jizz on the track.
Yeah. Okay, I'ma have some fun with it. Play wood to the beat, stick to the drum with it. Just give it the tip before I plunge in it. Play with the melody before I come with it. When I witness the image, it's something different. The way that our skin glisten when the sun hit it. Right along with the Pinot on my choice. It's my people I forever hoist. Everybody rejoice.
My heart is always in the right place. Now I got my head in the right space. Yeah.
Everybody rejoice.
Shout out to Trey for the wordplay. Shout out to Queens cause you word they. Yo, every day, yo, you know where to find me. Protecting my queen and kids cause the world is grimy. No sweat, team ain't far behind me. Party time, tell my wife grab a Henny and when she come back, I grab a Heine. If it goes down, I see stand behind me. Unapologetically frontin'. Shout out to Jizz B Company.
My heart is always in the right place.
Now I got my head in the right space.
Everybody rejoice. Yeah. Yo, hey, I got it poppin' over here. Sis feel like she out shopping over here. Been in my bag if you follow my career. When they hit a snag, I just popped in my veneers. Floss. If you ask my son, yo, I'm awesome. You hear the wild factor in the bars or you gloss. To go with this Glen living, I'm a toast. Let the critics know we about to do the most. Everybody rejoice.
My heart is always in the right place. Right place. I got my head in the right space. Won't you rejoice with me? Won't you stay 6 feet away? My heart is always in the right place. Oh, yeah. Now I got my head in the right space. Won't you rejoice with me? face. Oh yeah, oh yeah. My heart is always in the right place. I got my head in the right space. Won't you rejoice with me and stay 6 feet away? Yeah. Won't you stay 6 feet away? Won't you stay 6 feet away? Social distancing, witnessing greatness.
Yeah, man. It's funny you say I see Eddie got the young boy in the back.
Shout out to little Eddie in the screen.
Look
Yeah,
at
man.
you.
Man,
Like them.
Yes.
that bar you got about, man, your son thinks you awesome. Like, that's the realest, man. Like, that's what I like about your bars. Like, they're relatable. Like, they're just real life bars. Like, I got a son. And it's like, I remember somebody back in the day was like, the greatest thing just about kids in general, when you have a kid, like, you get it, no matter how hard your day is at work, when you get home, you get a chance to be Superman
Yes.
every
Yes.
day.
Yes.
At least until they get, to that
Yeah,
shitty age.
right.
But yeah, it's like you get to be Superman. It's like, yo,
My son, yo, I'm awesome. Like,
yo, you're awesome.
All the time.
I may not be awesome to you, but go check with my son.
Exactly.
And he can attest to that. Yeah, I mean, like,
Exactly.
I'm awesome. Stay 6 feet away though. I caught that.
we can rejoice too. But
You can rejoice. Heisman on them.
Over there.
Yeah, man. But, hey, y'all, we gonna land the plane. Like I said, this John was like it was like an airplane, man. And then you go to another stratosphere, and you land, and now we on the descent. And he just returns back to the tarmac with bars. I mean, it's. I really wish. Shout out to Primo and shout out to Royce the 5'9" for the bar exam, but that should have been yours. Like that would have been apropos.
And before we get to that, and the two things. So
Still use that.
again, going back to production,
Yeah.
I just want to point out that Jizz had 60-something tracks in the bag for this particular project.
Wow.
And it all was designed by the fact that, we wanted to go in a certain direction, but we wanted it to be totally opposite of Expect the Unexpected.
Yeah.
We didn't want any similarities to Expect the Unexpected, even though Expect the Unexpected is super duper dope. But
Yeah.
that just goes to the creative process that he internalizes in his brain, and it falls right in line what I think. So that's why we make such a dynamic pair. And so when we start talking about progression of this album and how it starts off one way and it tells a story in another way, and then all of a sudden it goes to another level and gives you some solutions.
Yeah.
When we get to Sheesh, really it's okay. We got the darkness. We went through the darkness. We brought you to the light. While we in the light, stay focused.
Yeah.
Stay focused, people.
And you gotta
And I see now, and I see that's what we're not doing.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
understand? So again, it goes back to the genius of Jizz, man, and just the way that he constructs his tracks, because it causes me to go in a certain direction. Like the music tells a story, and I just follow along with the story that he's telling. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, it's crazy. Like you gotta stay. We had a smooth flight, but if you don't stick to landing, you don't stay focused. Shit don't matter. All this don't matter.
Don't matter.
Real quick question. One, so how did you even link up with Jizz? Like, how did that happen?
Jizz, I'll let you tell that story, man. I'm done talking. You ain't said nothing this whole program.
That's a lie, first of all. That's because I'm probably the only sober one on here. My God, man.
Stop judging.
Don't judge.
Don't judge.
But me and Trey, I mean, I actually met Trey. What was it? About 2010 or 20? Yeah, about 2010. I was producing for this group named Starvation, and Trey had actually featured on one of their tracks, and that was how I actually met Trey in the studio, and ever since then.
Nah. We met at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Well. I'm talking about like that was the actual time that we actually like
got
made
busy.
like music or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I forget about Buffalo Wild Wings. Like I don't even count that. Like I don't even count that because that was the fellas. The fellas they had mostly like that time, but me and you mostly built on that. While we was in the studio for real.
Right.
And so ever since then, man, it's like it's been history. But we always kind of like skipped around each other because it was all about the timing. Like there would be a time where he's busy. It's a time when I was busy, but that one instance where we finally connected was Expect the Unexpected. Yep. And we put like our all into Expect the Unexpected, and that blossomed into what you have today, which is Glory. So it's like it's all about timing, man. And I'm a strong believer in things happen for reasons. It was a reason why Trey was placed into my life at that particular time, and there's a reason why we made this project right now through the times that we're going and through everything that we're going through right now.
Yep.
So it's perfect. So I always say you never know what comes next, and I'm just thankful that I gained a brother, through this whole process.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And don't shortchange yourself. All them dope visuals.
Oh,
that's man too.
Yeah, like people don't. If y'all knew what I know, man, just like. Okay, so again, I'm amongst family, so I feel like I could say certain things that I probably wouldn't say in front of other people, like how ill my pen is and all that other stuff. I'm talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And just so you know, she's never
Wife of the year.
No, but this is probably my worst critic because she's not even a hip hop person. She don't hear it like I hear it. I play stuff for her, and she be like, eh.
But
that's why I know the R&B side of you got to her before the.
But this
bars.
is amazing. He's amazing.
But with Jizz, man, if you only knew what I know, this guy, he did it all. Just so you know, he not only produced this record, he mixed this record, he mastered this record. The visuals that's coming with this record, it's all him. It's all him.
There was something about him. Tracey took me after he did the thing with Starvation, and he took me with him to meet the guys and everything. And I remember there was just one guy that was seemed so serious about this and was like so
locked in.
Right. And to the point that when we were doing a video for Tracey, I think I called Jizz and I was like, would you mind being in the video?
I remember that, yeah.
Like there was something about you. It was just he's amazing.
This dude is incredible. And y'all really, like, if you don't understand it, I'm going to be his biggest cheerleader because I'm going to make you understand it. Like, this dude is incredible.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'll just say one thing, like, Jizz, just don't forget us little people when you blow. Just don't forget us. That's all.
It's real.
Never.
I'm like, I knew that dude back when. Because wait a minute, this was produced too. Like, I mean, and this ain't no like slight. This was in your. This isn't like D&D studio or some shit. This isn't like Baseline. This is like your crib studio, right?
Right. Too.
Right.
This is my home studio, man.
Somebody asked me. They said, "Yo, this sounds amazing. Who mixed this?" He said, "The same dude that produced it." Well, who mastered this? What's the same dude that produced it? Really? Oh my God! Like, look, I can't explain it, man.
Trust me, I can hear. Like, I've been in music forever. Like, I've done radio. I've done all that shit, and yeah, when the ears perked up, and I was like, "Huh, this is different." Like, okay. Like, if I was still doing MD stuff, like, yeah, this would have got on. Like, when the record rep would have came in, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay.
Somebody's like, yo, did Guru produce this? Because
Yeah.
you know, Guru got a big name.
Yeah.
No, Guru produced this, right?
Yeah.
Guru produced it. That's my man. You know that. That's why you asked me that. And you know how long I've known Guru, and you know who Guru's affiliated with, but he didn't do that.
Well, shit, man.
Like, the thing about me is, you know, like coming up, I never really had a lot, but I made do with what I did have, and I was so thankful for, you know, my parents for, you know, always stepping in when they didn't even have, you know, enough. And I was a product of, you know, making the best out of a bad situation. So it's like, even with what I have, it may not be a lot, but for what I do have, I will master everything that I have, and I will turn, you know, I literally look at myself like a rose in a concrete, just for the simple fact that even though I don't have a lot, I will make the best of what I have and will make something incredible out of what I have, you know, and I am the most confident in that, you know, and you know, and that's just continuing to just staying focused, you know, and doing a lot of prayer, bro. A lot of prayer and a lot of learning and research, you know, because I didn't always know how to mix and master and you know, things of that sort, but I sat here and I learned myself, and it goes to these ears, man. It's just, and I'm not classically trained or anything when it comes to the piano or whatever. Everything that I ever did is by ear. It's just by learning, hands on. And when I went to audio engineering school, I didn't even finish. Half of the dudes that was in my class or whatever didn't finish. We were, you know, we were African American. We didn't finish, but the thing is, we was working in studios, hands on. They can have that book stuff, they can have all the book work or whatever. But if I'm not literally right here to, you know, if it's not in my hands, yo, man, come on, man. Like, what am I doing this for?
Yeah.
Like, put me in the studio, put me in the element, put me in that war, put me in the war. Like, I don't want to sit in the trenches the whole time. No, put me in the war.
Wow.
So that's it, man.
That's okay. You continue to do what you do, and I will continue to be the cheerleader that I can't be myself. I put all the energy that I can't, you know, just because we're both humble people. But I swear, the energy that I would love to say about myself, it all goes to you, brother. So just continue to do what you do. Don't worry about that. I got you.
You already know.
You got two more right there, no doubt.
Can I tell you?
Go ahead, John.
One of the things is that, you know what, over the years, you know what, I've done, like, I've worked off and on with radio for like 30 years and stuff, right? Usually, people who start like with the basement studios have a better sound than the big board studios, because it just seems like it gets watered down. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. It gets watered down because everybody is trying to stay aligned with the whole technical aspect. Like, it can't go past this certain point. It has to be this amount of decibels. It has to go past this threshold. Like, nah, bro. What does it sound like?
Right.
What does it feel like?
Feeling.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yep. So you said you had 60 beats, right?
Yeah, about 60. It was about 68.
All right.
68
So
tracks.
Kev need like 12 of them.
I need like, yeah, you know, so I'm gonna drop my album, right? No, on some real shit. So we're gonna play the last song on the album, Sheesh.
Yes, sir.
If you can indulge us, and if it's putting you on the spot, either you or Trey, either A, pull up one of them beats that didn't make the cut, or B, Trey, spit some bars that didn't make the cut. That's not because it was like, it's just...
I'm eliminated from that because there are no wasted bars in this particular album. Like I told you, before you play that record, like I told you from the beginning, I'm still learning these words, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because there's some of this stuff I can take credit for with regards to all of it. I can take credit for with regards to my hand being on the pen, right? Some of this stuff I can take credit for with regards to me saying, "Oh yeah, I thought about it. Yeah, I ain't that because of basically what's going on in my brain." Da, 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 da. But I would say about 75, no, not that high, maybe about 65% of this, I don't know where that shit came from.
Word.
The move was the pen was literally moving.
Fine.
I was a vessel. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just speaking from the higher power perspective. Like, damn, he just gonna funnel it through me, or she just gonna funnel it through me. I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna be able to spit it on the mic. And I recorded my own vocals because of where we are with the pandemic and all that. Me and Jizz weren't able. That's the other beautiful thing about this project. Me and Jizz weren't in the same room.
Right.
I was in my house. He was in his house. I recorded my vocals. I sent it to him. And then he doctored it up and did the rest. But with the pen, 35%, I could definitely take credit for it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did that. 65% of it, I don't know where that shit came from.
That's great. And we didn't mention this earlier. You told me this, which was so dope. Jizz gave you all the songs. Like, it's not like you penned the joints and then you mashed it to the beats. Like, Jizz gave you the beats.
He presented me with 60-something beats. Well, no, he didn't even present me with 60-something beats. He presented me with a few Johns. We picked them. There was some stuff that didn't make the cut. We both picked them, picked the ones that we wanted, and then we arranged them.
That's crazy.
Before I even arranged them 1 to 12 before I wrote a word.
That's crazy. I know about writing process, and that's crazy. I know that's crazy, dog.
Yo, Eddie said in the chat room, and this is so crazy because I said it in this song y'all about to play. I present these bars with a Ouija.
Yeah.
Within a week, or you said a Ouija?
That's the lyric, right? Like, I'm saying, like, come on, man.
I'm all about the bars to my core. Represent MCs, accolade awards. That don't mean jack to me. This a courtside vibe. The game at a different speed. Kind of off, meaning sick when centered out of your league. Only bars to me the ERs, OL&D.
Hold up. Here we go.
You know they ain't ready to hear that real.
That high city, that brighter city, man.
Let's get it.
Yeesh.
I present these bars with a Ouija. Proportions are biblical. Return to the Geechee. Ghost to the Jigaboo. A seance with every spook whipped, tongue and ridiculed. I'm about to set them all free. Lean. We just wanted brothers on the wall, Sal. Now we coming for it all, pal. With the ilk of a shawl. Inshallah. Coon to the fraud. This is your coup de grace. These are the sounds of a coup d'etat. Lead the wolves to the youth who shot them on. NFL, we beyond cap getting the job. Now it's about majority ownership of a squad. No officer, you can't see my ID. You won't put me in a bubble. No, salute Kyrie. Not only tossing Columbus in the harbor, I see. You tag graffiti on the face of Robert E. Lee. Fucking down all your symbols of oppression. Now who want it first? Ain't your mom, Uncle Benjamin's Butterworth. Save heat for cameras and Kirks for what it's worth. That's the easy shot. Corner 3, Jesus Shuttlesworth. Make statements with the paper showing we ain't playing. But your Snyder heard what Nike said, change the name. F-rap, word to that, better wake up. We changing the landscape, I like my core makeup. Unapologetically black. Lyrically, the wizardry's intact. Hit a widow jizz on the track. King on deck now, Joker's gotta deal with it.
Don't talk to us about looting. The violence was what we learned from you. Do what you say. This country is supposed to be about the land of the free for all. It has not been free for black people. And we are tired.
People, it's the sheesh. Peace to the NFAC. That's why O'Shea said F the police. We acknowledge Bubba Wallace. stand up. Don't hide your truth behind a news, pilgrim man up. This is candor for the Yakubi, the standards we'll no longer stand for. Mahmoud, Abdul, we just wanted answers. Now we let the cans blow, lay them where they standing with the grandeur of Mansa, Musa, Aluma, rebuild or destroy. You can't return void the murder of George Floyd. Why the riots? Cause you're silencing our voice, and we see our people dying, so you leave us no choice. A cross-bearer for the modern era. Cause when I look at my daughter, I see Breonna Taylor. Yeah, it's much more than a class of the classes. This the phoenix rising from the ashes. Dig me, we can't breathe.
Charge the cops. Do your job. Y'all are the looters. America has looted black people. America looted the Native Americans when they first came here. So looting is what you do. So if you want us to do better, then damn it, you do better.
Yo, first and foremost, okay, I guess let me do my job first. Let me land the plane. Let me talk about the wine and shit. So it was paired with. This always happens. Like I start off really professional, and by the time I get about 6 minutes,
That's because you're twisted.
every time.
It's like this.
It's goes, so
Crash landing.
crash landing for real. So just real bright acidity. That if you ever see the words bright acidity, that really talks about. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Like it really has. It's highly acidic wine. So in this particular case, we always pair wine with songs that have like some strings in it, something that really kind of cuts across the bass line and really amplifies it. And so that's why we always do that. But in this particular case, we also tied it with a bright acidity because of Tamika Mallory. Yo, let me know, at what point did you get the bright idea? That's like a punctuation on the record. So at what point did you get the bright idea to add that? But that speech just gives you chills. Like you want to go run through a wall. Like I need to listen to that every morning when I go to work for my 9 to 5, not my 5 to 9, but my 9 to 5. I need to listen to that every morning to deal with the man.
I called Ojiz and I said, you know, after I put in the rhyme, you know what I'm saying, I was just like, because I always thought about Public Enemy when I did this rhyme. And,
Oh,
yeah.
it's the soldier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it was just like, and this is right after she did her speech in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? And I was calling Liz, I was like, yo, we need to take excerpts of the speech. You know what I mean? That'll just drive the point home because we did this record, like I said, this was the last record that we did on the album, but this was the first record that we had released. We had released this right after Mr. George Floyd got murdered. And so there was a rush there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that first version wasn't mixed. You didn't hear this. This is not the version that's on the album. It was a version that we put out there as a single. It wasn't mixed, nothing. And Jizz kept saying, "Are you sure? You sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's throw it out there." And people loved it. And he's like, "Damn!" And I ain't even get a hold of it yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even messed with it yet. And so it was just a situation of it was a timing thing. And because that speech was fresh, you know what I'm saying? It was fresh on the people's minds, and we wanted to capture the moment at that particular time. I said, Jizz, let's, you know what I mean? Let's edit that joint. And he found the right parts to edit, and the rest is history. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Everybody rejoice.